The Avengers lost to Thanos not because they were weak, but because they were outmatched. I am themondli, and we're spinning the bottle among the Avengers to see who's stopping Thanos from collecting all 6 Infinity Stones. If Thanos wins, he wipes out half of all life from the universe. If not, the Avengers save the universe before Doomsday. As an added bonus, whoever the bottle lands on will fight alongside multiple heroes from a deck of cards that Thanos will choose randomly. And go! The bottle lands on the God of Mischief, Loki. Thanos draws 3 cards at random. Boom, Hulk, Thor, and Heimdall. Let the Tesseract massacre begin. We're on the way, and Thanos fires his first 4 attacks accurately, knocking Thor and Heimdall down. With the Power Stone already above the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos demanded the Tesseract from Loki, otherwise he would hammer Thor's head off. In hindsight, Loki kept the Tesseract over his own team. Unfortunately for Loki, he caved in, lured Thanos into Hulk's hands, and took Thor away from danger. Hulk slammed Thanos on the ground, right hook his jaw, left hooked his cheekbone, nasty right hook his right lip, 2 smooth hammers shot Thanos' shoulders and shoved them to the wall provocatively. Ebony Maw warned Cull Obsidian to wait and let them fight. Thanos grabbed Hulk's wrist away and wore Hulk off. Thanos dropped Hulk's arms down and wrecked Hulk's lower neck. Thanos blocked Hulk's left hook, then gave him a nasty left jab and right hook within nanoseconds. Unfortunately for Hulk, he left his left side vulnerable to an attack after Thanos blocked Hulk's left hook. Thanos circled around Hulk's back, hooked him there, then closed Hulk up with a left hook and a right lower jab to Hulk's face. Hulk blocked Thanos' first right hook, but not his second one to his right eye. Then Thanos followed through with the left hook, right lower jab, left overdrive, and an awful right hook to Hulk's right jaw. Thanos dragged Hulk towards Thanos' face, kneed his nose, picked him up, and man-slammed him to the ground. Thor dented Thanos' back with a steel stick. Thanos turned around and bench-pressed Thor to the Shadow Realm until Ebony Maw restrained him. Heimdall summoned the LGBTQ portal for Hulk to escape back to Earth through the dark powers of the Asgardian Godfathers. This pissed Thanos off because he let one of them get away, so he tortured Thor psychologically by unaliving Heimdall. Then Ebony Maw shut Thor up, handed Thanos the Tesseract, and gave him space to crush the cube that sealed it. Thanos attached the Tesseract to the Infinity Gauntlet and ordered his goons to fetch these 2 stones on Earth before the Avengers did. Yet, Banner reached Doctor Strange and Wong and Bleecker Street and warned them both that Thanos was on his way. However, Loki left his hiding place and tried tricking Thanos into a deceptive allegiance. Unfortunately for Loki, Thanos caught him out with the Tesseract. As a result, Thanos dragged Loki upwards, strangled him in front of Thor like toothpaste, and abandoned them both in their spaceship with a stunning lead on the leaderboard after the first round. Thereafter, Thanos opened the bonus mystery box handed to him, and he had a choice to make. Either make half the Guardians his slaves, or handicap the Avengers throughout the match by benching Vision. I would love to know your pick in the comment section if you were Thanos. Unfortunately for us, he picked B and super sub Vision with Wanda. This bottle was spun again, and it landed on the Guardians.
Yep, we are absolutely cooked, chat.
Thanos drew only 1 card out for the Soul Stone and chose Gamora, who took us back to her first encounter with him as a child when his army wiped half her people on her planet, left her orphaned, adopted her, and forcefully raised her. So the Guardians traveled to nowhere to spawn kill Thanos before they made their matters worse. The Guardians encountered Thanos wounding a defenseless man called Tanalia Tavan for the Soul Stone. Drax lost control, pulled a dagger out of his pocket for Thanos before Mantis put him to sleep. Yet Drax's awful landing exposed their hideout. Thanos trapped Tavan into a cage and chased the Guardians instead. Gamora launched the Guardians' first attack on Thanos. Thanos gripped her weapon and snapped it in half after she missed her first swing. Despite the condition of her weapon, Gamora wounded Thanos on the right side of his neck. Gamora took her blade out and stabbed Thanos above his chest before pulling away from him alarmingly. Then Thanos removed Gamora's blade off himself and nursed his fatal neck wound. Thus, Thanos fell downwards and lost consciousness after fading to recover urgently. Gamora's eyes were teary for Thanos like Erica Kirk at her late husband's memorial service. Tavan and the Guardians all over how quickly Thanos was erased, until he Uno reversed his death play like James Bond in Casino Royale. The success Thanos earned with these mind games against Gamora through the reality stone he stole from Tavan was second to none. Thanos left Gamora quaking on her knees after holding her hostage. range. Drax chased after Thanos but got sliced into cubes like a Euclidean geometry lesson. Mantis was left shook until Thanos took her out like a springboard. Then Star-Lord squared up with Thanos with the dilemma presented to him: sacrifice Gamora or pull the trigger on Thanos. Eventually, Star-Lord died for Nyash and failed to sacrifice Gamora after Thanos turned Star-Lord's gun into bubbles. Bubbles? That's all you got? And suddenly, Thanos adopted Gamora and told the Guardians with the solid lead on the leaderboard and interrogated Gamora on the other side of nowhere regarding the whereabouts of the Soul Stone by torturing Nebula. Gamora denied knowing anything about it until Thanos went, "Oh, word! This you, by the way? Yes, I know where it is. That dumbass purple smurf ain't gonna find it. And that's on period." Thanos gave Gamora a decision to make: the Soul Stone or the dreadful unaliving of Nebula. Gamora folded because she couldn't handle seeing her loved ones prematurely dying. She told him that the Soul Stone was in Vormir, got taken there using the Tesseract, and got escorted to Red Skull, who offered Thanos a deal with the devil: the Soul Stone in exchange for a loved one. Gamora was adamant that his stepfather would never sell her out. Sorry? Despite the mass unaliving of half her people from his army, what made her think he wouldn't? Gamora had more screen time than Tony because she was the only one in the way of half of all life being wiped out of the universe. From that moment, her perception of Thanos changed completely. Then she failed at her self-unaliving attempt. Adding on, her childhood presence turned into bubbles before Thanos dragged Gamora halfway like a toddler after a tantrum showdown and tossed her off a cliff as a wasted GTA badge. Gamora with the Yamcha pose was the nail to her coffin and an umbilical cord on Thanos' lead after he obtained the Soul Stone. We spin the bottle again. And it landed on Iron Man. With an unfair advantage, Thanos drew 6 cards on deck. He flipped them around and ooh, the universe had collected their debt. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the surviving Guardians have been selected to square off with Thanos. Okay, 1, 2, 3, all lined up for one of the greatest fates of cinema. Iron Man launched an intergalactic pole stick to finish Thanos off early. From which part of the universe did he find that from? I thought Tony was allergic to outer space after the matchup he and the Avengers had against Loki in New York. Following that, Thanos crushed the stick apart, turned it into screeching bats, and blasted it all to Iron Man as if he qualified for the Space Olympics. Spider-Man web shot Thanos' left eye and kicked him in his face. Then Drax slid in and smacked Thanos' right leg. Joe Rogan's fiending now. He loves them leg shots. Thanos blocked Drax's upper body shot before being lynched by Doctor Strange post Jim Crow. Thanos gut checked Drax to the ground, grabbed Strange's stick with Strange shaking, removed the webs from his left eye, and kicked him away with a beautifully blocked shot. Then Star-Lord launched onto Thanos, stalled him with a gunshot, jumped upwards the second time, and placed a detonator behind Thanos' neck. Iron Man struck Thanos with a ki blast while Strange's cape held the Infinity Gauntlet hostage, whilst letting Doctor Strange run circles on Thanos. Spider-Man's on-field performance was bizarre. He right hooked, gut checked, and face kicked Thanos, who grabbed Spider-Man's neck and slammed him on the ground. Then Thanos picked Spider-Man up and threw him at Strange for a near fall. Thanos removed Strange's cape, dodging an explosion from Iron Man's mini-missiles before twirling it up into a Kamehameha blast to dice Iron Man off. Spider-Man returned to pull the Infinity Gauntlet off Thanos' hand, but Thanos' godly strength made Thanos pull Spider-Man for a nasty clothesline. The Iron Man thought this abandoned spaceship should do the trick. So Iron Man launched it onto Thanos until both warriors were worn out. Nebula joined in, left hook, and bashed Thanos' face with the stick. With Thanos' right fist on overdrive, Thanos blocked Nebula's third attack, causing her stick to spin around him. Nebula caught it early and hooked him once more. On Congo and Sudan, you're getting these hands, boy. Until Thanos swung her off like a Major League home run. Suddenly, Tony Stark called for a timeout and revised their team tactics stack. Wizard summoned the slave guards and whipped Thanos inward. Drax slid behind Thanos and pinned him down with one knee. Star-Lord, the universe is on the line, so don't screw this up. Kid, web swing around the purple smurf and wedge his left hand from the gauntlet. I'll pull up after you and the wizard drag it off his left hand. So pull with all your strength. Mantis will sneak up on Thanos and use mind control to keep him still. It's working! Thanos is losing control and we almost have the gauntlet off of him, but he ain't wussing out. Focus! Let me help, Mr. Stark. Glad you showed up, kid. Now pull! Yeah! You thought shit was sweet out here. Where Gamora at? Where Gamora at? Gamora's dead. Thanos laid her to rest. Gamora ain't coming back. Don't do it. Don't do it. No! Just as Spider-Man pulled the gauntlet towards him, Thanos snapped out of the hypnosis, yanked Spider-Man away from him, threw mind control off of him, kicked Drax from his right leg like a panenka kick from Bryan Diaz, tugged Strange on the other end, and jabbed Iron Man off. Just as the Guardians got back up, Thanos blasted their attack onto the ground. Iron Man returned for a generational square off, only to be headbutted away. What happened next blew me away, and this cemented Thanos as one of the most diabolical beings throughout existence. He used the Power Stone, and Tony watched them throw a moon to finish them off. A whole moon! How do you beat a man who's that determined to wipe out half of all life from the universe? You won't! And Iron Man was on the receiving end of it. While Spider-Man was stuck saving half of the Guardians, Strange decided to take care of business once and for all. So he blasted an attack on Thanos with a spell. Thanos Super Mario a key blast that Strange blocked up with a glass spell that he pushed to Thanos, who broke it into pieces. Then Thanos counterattacked with the powerful key blast that Strange defended with butterflies. That's correct, butterflies. Strange was motionless, so he reached on his Jim Crow bag and flashed Thanos back to slavery. What's good? Purple wines in the hood. We got ourselves a purple wine, boys. White supremacy, connect! And Jim Crow Strange whipped Thanos out of the cotton field. Instantly, Thanos escaped the South with the Power Stone, slapped Jim Crow Strange back to his roots, and pulled him towards the gauntlet with his ancestors to snatch the Time Stone away. However, the chain was a ploy. Thanos threw segregation into the dirt before Iron Man red-pilled Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. It was on. Tony shot many missiles from his back to Thanos, who blocked them all with his power pose. Iron Man drew a superb double kick, landed safely, and hunched Thanos to the wall. Then Thanos humiliated Tony by exposing his wave. Tony was not supposed to have a haircut until Valentine's Day until he knocked Penny off again. However, Thanos right hooked Iron Man's mask. Iron Man looked like post-prime Mike Tyson on medical parole. Next, Thanos attacked Iron Man with a key blast that was blocked by Iron Man's nano shield. So Tony swung around like a Russian ballerina, flew towards Thanos, stepped above the gauntlet, and gave him one of the craziest left hooks in the ring, which made Thanos admit, all that for a drop of blood. At that moment, Tony knew that their plan failed, so Thanos flipped him over and put bout to ass. Thanos even picked Tony up like a couch potato and blasted him off. Tony kept fighting him off until he was overpowered by Thanos. The damage that Tony's nanotech suit left Tony defenseless. With this in mind, Tony activated the dagger that wounded him from Thanos' Uno reverse card play. Had Thanos talking trash on some game recognized game, but your pals are fraud. I hope they remember you. Eventually, Jim Crow Strange gave up the Time Stone since the Avengers and Thanos were tied on points after the end of the second round. With the Avengers tiebreaker advantage over Thanos, they will spin the bottle and choose those who wish to fight Thanos. And go! The bottle spins for the final time and lands at Black Panther and the Wakandans. In spite of the limited number of cards remaining for the deck, King T'Challa cashes in his golden ticket after winning it from Killmonger in a bloodbath for the Wakandan throne. Ultimately, the number of allies T'Challa could have is infinite, from Captain America to the wall-called benchwarmer Vision. To win this matchup, they must remove the Mind Stone from Vision and destroy it so that they could eliminate Thanos for good. Otherwise, Thanos wipes half of all life from the universe. So Thanos announced his arrival through his invasive energy that Steve Rogers and the Avengers sensed around him. Then Thanos walked into Wakanda through the Tesseract. How did Thanos know where they were? Those outer space GPS monitors from SpaceX were left unreleased like the Epstein files. How many reroutes did Thanos take before he reached his destination? His presence had Wanda shook as if she had a pregnancy scare. She had Vision's pull-out game stats ranked first globally. Through the Power Stone, Thanos dark warped Banner to a rock wall. Then Thanos warped Captain America out of the way like calamine. Thanos grabbed T'Challa's neck and jabbed him to the ground. At that point, the Wakandan's home ground advantage was non-existent. Falcon's advanced weaponry was dusted aside by Thanos swiftly. Urgently, Vision instructed Wanda to evoke Plan B since they were both in Thanos' way from the Mind Stone. Wanda refused to sacrifice Vision to avoid being lonely and miserable. Yet, Vision insisted as a cover-up to Star-Lord's selling from the recent battle. So Wanda complied. Across her, War Machine offense failed on Thanos, who quickly made light work of him. Bucky Barnes' Super Clark didn't hold up either. Then Thanos Thanos showed the world that Okoye's Olympic gold medal in javelin for Wakanda was a fake and that Black Widow should have been kicked out of the Garden of Eden with Adam instead of Eve. Groot booby-trapped Thanos with these roots, yet the purple Smurf escaped freely. With Wanda's retrieval process of the Mind Stone incomplete, Captain America slid on the ground, triple comboed, and wrestled Thanos' left hand until he got knocked out cold. So Wanda multitasked as her last resort, but Thanos overpowered her at the 11th hour. It was too late for Thanos, as Wanda destroyed the Mind Stone at the expense of Vision. Psych! Thanos Uno reversed the entire Mind Stone back to Vision through the Time Stone. Wanda fell short of Thanos, who bitch slapped her to sleep. Thanos packed Vision out, plucked the Mind Stone for Vision's forehead, and canceled Vision's life subscription with CTE. With all 6 stones in one place, Thanos only needed one snap to accomplish his plan, until he got struck by Thor's Stormbreaker. As Thanos blasted Thor's attack, Thor counterattacked him before Stormbreaker sliced Thanos' chest in half. Thor landed exquisitely, approached Thanos face to face, and pushed Stormbreaker into him deeper. Then Thanos closed his eyes, sneaked this Thor that he should have gone for the head.
No!
Thanos didn't beat the Avengers not because of his power, but from his sacrifices that he outdeared to himself. Thanos got away not because he was punished, but because innocent lives paid for his sins. We saw a man smelling roses because his loved ones didn't survive long enough to give him his flowers. I am themondli, and this is goodbye.